my Beekman Eagles. Welcome to Miss Woodward Reads. Today I'm reading a chapter book for some of my 3rd, 4th, 5th graders. This is called Raymie Nightingale by Kate DiCamillo. Kate DiCamillo is an author you may have heard of before because she has written many books, including Because of Winn-Dixie, a very popular book, The Tale of Despereaux, which also turned into a movie, Flora and Ulysses, The Illuminated Adventures. So when I first look at a book, I'll look at it all over, and then I like to see what's on the back. I like to look inside the book jacket and see the description on the inside. Maybe I'll even read a page or 2 or even 3 and see if it's something I'd be interested in. So the back says, 3 girls, 1 summer, a friendship that changed their lives. Now when I open up the book and read the book jacket, have you ever in your life come to realize that everything, absolutely everything, depends on you? Raymie Clark has a plan. 2 days ago, her father left home with a dental hygienist. If Raymie can win the Little Miss Central Florida tire competition, then her father will see Raymie's picture in the paper and maybe come home. To win, not only does Raymie have to do good deeds and learn how to twirl a baton, she also has to contend with Louisiana Elefante, who has a show business background, and Beverly Topinski, who's determined to sabotage the contest. But as the competition approaches, loneliness, loss, and unanswerable questions draw the 3 girls together and challenge each of them to come to the rescue in unexpected ways. Now, another awesome thing about this book is it is part of a series, so if you really like it, you can read on and on about the characters. So I'm going to just read a little bit of Raymie Nightingale, and you can see if you like it, and if you do, it is in the library, and you can check it out with Miss Banker during your library time. 1. There were 3 of them, 3 girls. They were standing side by side. They were standing at attention. And then the girl in the pink dress, the one who was standing right next to Raymie, let out a sob and said, "The more I think about it, the more terrified I am. I am too terrified to go on." The girl clutched her baton to her chest and dropped to her knees. Raymie stared at her in wonder and admiration. She herself often felt too terrified to go on, but she had never admitted it out loud. The girl in the pink dress moaned and toppled over sideways. Her eyes fluttered closed. She was silent, and then she opened her eyes very wide and shouted, "Archie, I'm sorry, I betrayed you." She closed her eyes again. Her mouth fell open. Raymie had never seen or heard anything like it. "I'm sorry," Raymie whispered. "I betrayed you." For some reason, the words seemed worth repeating. "Stop this nonsense immediately," said Ida Nee. Ida Nee was the baton twirling instructor. Even though she was old, over 50 at least, her hair was an extremely bright yellow. She wore white boots that came all the way up to her knees. "I'm not kidding," said Ida Nee. Raymie believed her. Ida Nee didn't seem like much of a kidder. The sun was way, way, way up in the sky, and the whole thing was like high noon in a Western. But it was not a Western. It was a baton twirling lesson at Ida Nee's house in Ida Nee's backyard. It was the summer of 1975. It was the 5th day of June, and 2 days before, on the 3rd day of June, Raymie Clark's father had run away from home with a woman who was a dental hygienist. "Hey, diddle, diddle, the dish ran away with the spoon." Those were the words that went through Raymie's head every time she thought about her father and the dental hygienist. But she did not say the words out loud anymore because Raymie's mother was very upset, and talking about dishes and spoons running away together was not appropriate. It was actually a great tragedy what had happened. That was what Raymie's mother said. "This is a great tragedy," said Raymie's mother. "Quit reciting nursery rhymes." It was a great tragedy because Raymie's father had disgraced himself. It was also a great tragedy because Raymie was now fatherless. The thought of that, the fact of it, that she, Raymie Clark, was without a father, made a small, sharp pain shoot through Raymie's heart every time she considered it. Sometimes the pain in her heart made her feel too terrified to go on. Sometimes it made her want to drop to her knees, but then she would remember that she had a plan. Chapter 2. "Get up," said Ida Nee to the girl in the pink dress. "She fainted," said the other baton-twirling student, a girl named Beverly Topinski, whose father was a cop. Raymie knew the girl's name and what her father did because Beverly had made an announcement at the beginning of the lesson. She had stared straight ahead, not looking at anybody in particular, and said, "My name is Beverly Topinski, and my father's a cop, so I don't think that you should mess with me." Raymie, for one, had no intention of messing with her. "I've seen a lot of people faint," said Beverly now. "That's what happens when you're the daughter of a cop. You see everything. You see it all." "Shut up, Topinski," said Ida Nee. The sun was very high in the sky. It hadn't moved. It seemed like someone had stuck it up there and then walked away and left it. I'm sorry, whispered Raymie. I betrayed you. Beverly Topinski knelt down and put her hands on either side of the fainting girl's face. What do you think you're doing? Said Ida Nee. The pine trees above them swayed back and forth. The lake, Lake Clara, where someone named Clara Wingtip had managed to drown herself 100 years ago, gleamed and glittered. The lake looked hungry. Maybe it was hoping for another Clara Wingtip. Raymie felt a wave of despair. There wasn't time for people fainting. She had to learn how to twirl baton. She had to learn fast. Because if she learned how to twirl baton, then she stood a good chance of becoming Little Miss Central Florida Tire. And if she became Little Miss Central Florida Tire, her father would see her picture in the paper and come home. That was Raymie's plan. I'm going to stop right there before we get into chapter 3. But if you like this little excerpt of this chapter book, go check it out during your library time with Miss Banker. And once you finish this book, like I said, this is part of a series. So you can check out other books and follow the characters. Oh, and there's our author at the end, Kate DiCamillo. I like seeing that at the end, a little picture of the author and maybe a little bit about them. That's also really cool to check out inside a book sleeve. Thank you, my Beekman Town Eagles.